Before you reach out again, pause. Are your hands building someone up or burying them alive? What if every act of help you give could actually be harming you? The Bible exposes a truth most never admit. Helping the wrong person isn't love, it's a silent curse, quietly destroying both of you. Many assume generosity is always virtuous, but even Jesus knew when to say no. He walked past the sick without healing them. He let the rich young ruler walk away. He told his disciples there would always be poor among them. Why? Because indiscriminate helping is not biblical. It's enabling disguised as kindness. The first and most dangerous type is the person who demands instead of asks. They don't politely request, they assert, "You need to help me." They treat your time, money, and energy as entitlements. Scripture warns clearly in 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 10, "If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat." Notice it says, not willing, not unable. This is God's perspective on entitlement. You'll recognize them by their anger when denied, their refusal to say thank you, and their endless list of demands. Helping them doesn't show love, it feeds their pride. Set the boundary. I help those who ask humbly, not those who demand. The second type is more subtle but equally draining, the crisis addict. They live from emergency to emergency, creating drama that forces attention and support. Often, their crises are self-inflicted, fueled by an addiction to adrenaline and external validation. Proverbs 19 verse 19 warns, "A man of great wrath will pay the penalty. For if you deliver him, you will only have to do it again." Rescuing a crisis addict does not help, they thrive on chaos, and every intervention only reinforces their pattern. The boundary here is firm. I cannot keep providing emergency support. They must learn planning and personal responsibility before receiving help. Recognizing these first two types is critical. Demanding individuals and crisis addicts consume your resources, erode your joy, and test your discernment. When you set clear boundaries, you protect not only your energy but also your ability to bless those who are truly willing to receive and grow. Learning to say no strategically is not cruelty, it's biblical stewardship, preserving your capacity to make a real impact where it matters most. The third type is the person who takes without ever acknowledging. They accept your help as though it's owed, never offering gratitude or reciprocation, even when they are capable. Luke 17 tells the story of Jesus healing 10 lepers. Only one returned to give thanks. Jesus noticed and asked, "Were not 10 cleansed? Where are the 9? Gratitude matters to God, and it should matter to us. Continually helping ungrateful people drains your spirit, kills your joy in giving, and leaves you feeling used. The boundary here is clear. My help must be appreciated. Until it is, my resources will be directed elsewhere. The fourth type is perhaps the most exhausting, the perpetual victim. These individuals define themselves by their suffering. Every conversation revolves around their problems, and every solution is dismissed with excuses. They crave pity more than progress, clinging to misery because it attracts attention and shields them from responsibility. Jesus once asked a man at the pool, sick for 38 years, "Do you want to be healed?" Sometimes people prefer their problems to their solutions. Constantly rescuing the perpetual victim robs them of the growth that only comes through struggle. The boundary with perpetual victims is firm but compassionate. I cannot continue the same conversation endlessly. When you're ready to take action, I'm here. Until then, I must step back. Understanding these two types, the ungrateful and the perpetual victim, is essential for protecting your heart and resources. Both can subtly erode your generosity, leaving you frustrated and resentful. The ungrateful person slowly extinguishes your joy, while the perpetual victim keeps you trapped in cycles of drama and stagnation. By recognizing these patterns and establishing clear boundaries, you reclaim your energy and create space for genuine, transformative relationships. These early lessons set the foundation for discernment. Helping indiscriminately may feel kind in the moment, but it often perpetuates harm, both to the person you are trying to assist and to yourself. Strategic, thoughtful generosity requires courage, the courage to say no when necessary and the wisdom to invest in those willing to grow. Learning this now prevents years of wasted effort, emotional burnout, and spiritual frustration. The fifth type is the manipulative helper, the person who weaponizes your faith against you. "If you were really a Christian, you'd help me." Jesus would never turn anyone away, they insist, making refusal feel sinful. Yet even Jesus set limits. He didn't chase the rich young ruler, he let him walk away. Galatians 1 verse 10 asks, "Am I now seeking the approval of man or of God?" Giving in to manipulation serves fear and people-pleasing, not God. The boundary is firm. I make decisions based on prayer and wisdom, not guilt or coercion. The sixth type is the disruptor, the one who talks negatively about others to you and about you to others. They spread discord, poison relationships, and thrive on stirring trouble. Proverbs 26 verse 20 reminds us, "For lack of wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no whisperer, quarreling ceases." Matthew 7 verse 6 warns, "Do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you." Helping the disruptor funds destruction rather than restoration. The boundary is clear. I do not engage in gossip. If there's an issue, it must be addressed directly with the person involved. Recognizing these two types protects your spiritual and emotional energy. Manipulative individuals exploit your goodwill, while disruptors erode community and trust. By setting boundaries, you maintain integrity and prevent your kindness from being misused. Strategic generosity requires discernment. Helping the wrong people may seem noble, but it often perpetuates harm, enabling manipulation, discord, and chaos. Protecting yourself is not selfish. It is essential stewardship of your time, energy, and heart. The seventh and most hopeless type is the person who consistently makes poor choices and rejects wise counsel. They dismiss godly advice, scorn correction, and repeat destructive patterns. They may want your help, but not your guidance. Proverbs 23 verse 9 warns, "Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the good sense of your words." When you support the rebellious fool, you inadvertently subsidize their rebellion against God. Even the prodigal son's father didn't chase him down. He let his son hit rock bottom. Only in the pig pen did the son come to his senses. The boundary here is uncompromising. I cannot rescue someone from choices they refuse to change. Now that you understand all 7 types, how do you discern who deserves your help? Begin with these 4 biblical tests. First, check humility. Do they ask or demand? Second, examine responsibility. Do they own their situation or blame others? Third, look for gratitude. Do they genuinely appreciate help or expect it as a right? Fourth, assess growth. Are they learning from past mistakes or repeating the same patterns? Remember, you are not God. Your resources are limited, and your generosity must be exercised with wisdom. Applying these principles brings 3 powerful outcomes. First, you stop feeling guilty about saying no. Boundaries aren't selfish, they are biblical stewardship. Second, your resources flow to people who are actually willing to grow, producing real transformation rather than endless dependency. Third, you become a wiser steward of all God has given you, learning to help strategically instead of indiscriminately. This discernment changes everything. It prevents burnout, preserves your joy, and ensures that your generosity has impact. Helping everyone may feel virtuous, but it often perpetuates harm. Strategic, thoughtful giving requires courage, the courage to set boundaries, say no when necessary, and invest in those committed to change. By understanding these 7 types and applying biblical tests, you reclaim your time, energy, and purpose, ensuring your help truly builds rather than destroys. When you apply these principles, 3 transformations begin immediately. First, you stop feeling guilty for saying no. Boundaries are not selfish, they are biblical stewardship. Learning to say no strategically protects your heart, energy, and resources, allowing you to give more meaningfully to those who are ready to receive. Second, your resources start reaching the people who genuinely change. Instead of endless cycles of dependency, you witness real transformation. Those who are humble, responsible, and willing to grow become the recipients of your guidance, support, and generosity. This is where your efforts multiply and produce lasting impact. Third, you become a wiser steward of everything God has entrusted to you. Your help is no longer scattered or wasted. It is focused, intentional, and strategic. You learn to invest where it truly matters, where your actions create change rather than perpetuate harm. Generosity becomes powerful rather than draining, uplifting rather than exhausting. Think about the people in your life. Who constantly demands without gratitude? Who thrives in drama or refuses to change? Stop giving to the family member who mismanages money repeatedly. Stop rescuing the friend who ignores advice but returns with the same problem. This isn't cruelty, it's stewardship. Your discernment, boundaries, and selective generosity reflect wisdom and care, not judgment. Jesus demonstrated this principle clearly. He helped the centurion whose faith was evident, the woman desperate enough to touch his garment, and the blind man who cried out persistently. Yet he didn't heal every sick person, feed every hungry crowd, or chase everyone who walked away. His help was strategic, selective, and impactful. When you follow this model, your energy, resources, and joy increase. You are no longer burned out or resentful. You become like Jesus, selective in your help, strategic in your kindness, and supernatural in your impact. Your no to the wrong person becomes a yes to the right one. Now, imagine applying this discernment in real life. You begin to see people clearly, not through guilt or obligation, but through wisdom and purpose. Those who are humble, grateful, responsible, and growing receive your attention, your guidance, and your resources. Meanwhile, the demanding, manipulative, and ungrateful are left to face the consequences of their choices. This is not cruelty, it is strategic generosity and biblical stewardship. Jesus' example reinforces this principle. He helped the centurion whose faith was extraordinary, the woman who reached out in desperation, and the blind man who persisted in calling for healing. Yet he did not heal every sick person or feed every hungry crowd. He did not chase down everyone who walked away. His acts of help were deliberate, intentional, and transformative. He gave where it counted, not indiscriminately. Proverbs 27 verse 14 warns, "Whoever blesses his neighbor with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, will be counted as cursing him." Even blessings can backfire if given wrongly. When you stop helping the wrong people, the effects are profound. You gain energy, resources, and joy. You are no longer burned out, resentful, or doubting whether generosity is worth it. Your impact multiplies because your help goes to those who truly want to change and grow. You become like Jesus, selective in your help, strategic in your kindness, and supernatural in your influence. Your no to the wrong person becomes a yes to the right one. By choosing wisely, you not only protect yourself but also ensure that your generosity has lasting, meaningful results. Strategic giving transforms both the giver and the receiver. It is not just about helping, it is about helping wisely, intentionally, and with impact that reflects God's design. Right now, you have a choice. You can continue as you always have, helping everyone who asks, regardless of their heart, intentions, or willingness to change, or you can embrace biblical wisdom. You can learn to discern, to invest your time, energy, and resources where they truly make a difference. Those you stop helping incorrectly may get angry. Let them. Those you begin helping correctly will be transformed, and that transformation is worth every careful decision. I want you to make 3 commitments today. First, commit to prayer. Ask God for discernment about the people in your life and who truly deserves your help. Seek guidance so that your generosity aligns with His will and produces lasting change. Second, commit to setting boundaries with the wrong people. Use clear, decisive language. Do not explain, do not justify, simply set the boundary. Your no is not harshness, it is wisdom in action. Boundaries protect your resources, your joy, and your ability to be truly impactful. Third, commit to redirecting your resources to the right people, those who are humble, grateful, responsible, and growing. Pour into them generously. Your kindness is not weakness, your boundaries are not selfishness, your discernment is not judgment. It is stewardship, biblical and purposeful. By making these choices, you become a steward like Jesus, intentional, strategic, and transformative. You will no longer feel drained by ungratefulness or manipulated by entitlement. Instead, you will experience the joy of seeing real growth, real change, and real impact. If this message has convicted you, take action. Hit that like button to affirm your commitment. Share it with someone who needs guidance on setting boundaries. Subscribe for more biblical wisdom that transforms lives, helping you discern wisely, love effectively, and steward God's blessings with power and purpose. Your no to the wrong person is your yes to the right person. Make that choice today, and watch the people you help, and your own life, change in ways you never imagined. Strategic help is not just better for them, It is better for you. It is biblical, it is wise, and it is transformative.